Mental illness, it's a subject many teenagers keep quiet about, but not this 16-year-old.
It needs to be talked about in schools, and people need to know about it, and kids need to know that what they're saying and doing isn't okay, and that it's affecting other people negatively.
Maddy is speaking out. She's coming to terms with her own mental health story, which started at the age of 12 when she was self-harming and depressed.
It really wasn't fair, and it took me a long time to realise it wasn't me that was at fault. It was people that were being horrible and saying horrible things and acting like words I'm not going to say.
Maddy discovered that her own reactions to being bullied was affecting others, especially her mum.
Right, can you grab me a pot, love, please?
Mum saw my cuts and she lost her shit. Fair enough, I guess.
I just couldn't believe she'd done it. I was just horrified. It was terrible because she just really downplayed it. It was like, it's nothing, it's nothing, and but it was just like, you know, punch in the guts, really, because I felt that I'd failed her. Why you stopped?
I stopped because Mum was extremely upset. She was crying, she was angry, not just like when she found out, like constantly, all the time. I didn't stop because I wanted to stop. I stopped because if I didn't, everything was just 10,000 times worse.
Yep.
So thanks.
Which again was added more fear because I knew she didn't want to. You know what I mean? I knew that she was doing it for me, but in a way I felt that it was good that she cared about me enough that she didn't want to keep doing something that upset me that much.
When I sort of stopped and I started to, like, I don't know, clear my head a bit, was right when I'd come to terms with my sexuality with myself.
A year later, Maddy faced fresh mental health challenges, again from peers at school, and this time some of her closest friends.
I don't remember what he said, but he goes, "Oh, you're such a homo," and I was like, "Well, actually, yeah." And then he got up and walked over to everyone else and told all them.
A change of school brought a new social circle, and over the years, Maddy's learned to cope with close support from Mum.
I didn't want to go to a doctor or a psychologist or anyone and kind of open up and talk and share about what I was feeling and going through, just for them to say, "Oh, well, you're being a bit dramatic." It just completely invalidate anything I was feeling.
Maddy's a regular at Waikato Queer Youth too, a volunteer-driven organisation supporting young gays. But senior youth mentor Logan Cotter says sexuality discrimination is still common.
New Zealand's a very inclusive society and we are very progressive, but it's still sitting there. Like just certain comments that are made, like, you know, kids will say, "Oh, that's gay." Yes, it sounds like a non-issue, but it can really play on people's minds because it's associated with a negative thing.
And finally, 4 years on from when the depression started, Maddy is actually seeking professional help. But there were a few months waiting for a referral.
We've had more referrals and delivered more last year than we were funded for, so sometimes our waiting time to see us is a lot longer. But again, we're not a crisis service. We're not the secondary mental health. We are primary mental health for mild to moderate. And so those theoretically can wait a little bit. But we would like to be quicker, we'd like to be more efficient, but the demand is quite large at the moment.
Talking with a psychologist is helping Maddy understand herself better, but naturally she's doing things her way as well, and it's working.
I like poetry, so I don't know. I'm not good at talking about, you know, my feelings or my emotions or whatever, so I write it in some really obscure way and I hope it makes sense to someone else.
Hunter Calder, Local Focus.